Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're playing a personal favorite of mine, Vanquish Soul. This deck is a ton of fun, and it is a very versatile and interesting deck because it's not like any other deck in the format, and it has kind of little pieces of some other decks in it. Some positional pieces similar to Mech Knight in a sense. Not really that much similar to Mech Knight, but it's similar in a sense where you have to some of these cards you have to play in the same row, like Raisin's effect. But this deck is a lot of fun. The one thing I am going to say, if you're looking at the title of the deck's name, Konami, you need to stop. Like they increased the prices of how much the price of how much gems cost, and on top of that, they also made this deck like expensive for absolutely no reason. Like they could have at least made either Stake Your Soul in SR or made Mad Love in SR. And anyone saying, actually that card deserves to be a UR. I'm like, there's no reason a brand new deck coming out should cost 10 in archetype URs, maybe 11 if you're playing different ratios or something like that. It's kind of a lot. It took me at least I got 100 packs, and I still had to craft cards, so that's one of the negatives about the deck. But overall, the deck's really fun, and it could play through D-Shifter, so we're playing one D-Shifter. You could probably play two. I just don't like it too much, but it does shut down some decks. Very small decks, but Tier Limit and some graveyard strategies are coming back a little. So we're going to get some games. You guys will see how the deck plays, and then we'll go in the recap, and I'll tell you how the deck performed and what I think about it. So, hello, and we're here with game number 1 against Vi, and our hand is looking pretty scrumptious until our opponent Max sees us. So the whole reason why the Cashier Fenrir is in the deck, because we play Rise Heart for just the attribute. Because the fire attribute's really good with Stake Your Soul and for activating our card effects, so most of the time we're not even summoning Rise Heart. Technically, if we could, because we do play some level 7s in the deck, we play Big Eye and stuff, but for right now, and also, I just want to point out, Rise Heart is a level 4, so if you play Raisin with Rise Heart, you could technically use both of them to go into Baguska if you want to, or go into Dweller, whatever, wherever your level 4 plays are. Go into Zeus is what I'm getting at. So, but use this, Stake Your Soul, let's get Raisin lets us, we get Ash, so I guess we're cocked. Thank you. And then we have to go into Rock. So the reason why you always have to go into Rock from this position, even though you're going to give him another draw, is because Stake Your Soul. If you look at Stake Your Soul's effect, it returns it back to hand, and then you can't use your other cards. So you really need to make sure you have a card that lets you put a Vanquish Soul. And remember, Raisin has an effect where I can pop a card in the field, and this card lets me special summon on my opponent's turn. So he's going to evenly me, so I get rid of 2 cards, and then I'm going to get Max Seed for the second time. I pop the Rise Heart hoping that he has nothing else because of the way he's playing. Tells me he has nothing else. But he ended up having Catharsis anyway. There is a world where maybe I should have waited, but if I waited, the problem with me waiting is if I waited, he would have banished something, and then he would have had something for Birth to bring back. So that's why I didn't wait. But he ends up going to Shangadira, and then it sets 4, which is a little spooky to me. I'm going to draw a card. I pretty much traded a card for a card because it's my turn, and the chances of him drawing a Kashtira name that he can't summon anyways because he uses normal summon and everything is pretty high, and that's what I'm kind of hoping on. But unfortunately, the card he draws is another hand trap. He draws Ash Blossom, so kind of get cucked. Not gonna lie, I get kind of cucked here. He's gonna bring back Fenrir, and then he brings back that. So here we go. And here I'm going to dodge. So this is actually something I ended up learning more, is when you're gonna do a play like this, you want to make sure you actually activate the correct chain is you activate Heavy Burge's effect first, and then you activate Raisin's effect, and that way Raisin's effect will pop this card, and then I also, on top of that, I will be able to it'll return to hand by pop it. Doing it this way, the pop doesn't happen, so you have to make sure this is chain link 1 or the first chain link, and then this is the second chain link for this specific effect. So here comes Jialing. And I actually used Jialing's effect to switch this to attack, just to get rid of it, but for some reason my opponent just really wanted to keep the Shangri-La alive. I don't understand why. I don't know if he was just like, oh yeah, I'm negating all his monsters. And you might be saying, well, you're not going to kill him. Well, technically, next turn, I'll be able to use this reveal to burn him for 1500. That's the idea, at least. We pop the Birth. And technically, I guess what I should have done was pop Birth and then go Unicorn to hit one of these back row pieces. I wasn't expecting this guy to have... You're going to see. He ends up having Call by the Grave, too. And it's actually super annoying. Boom. So I had to play it like this because I needed to get the Earth in hand. Okay? So here we go. He ends up full comboing me now because this is negated. Remember. I'm showing this game because he actually something really funny happens. He throws like horrifically at the end here. So he's gonna kill my whole board. Okay. Then he goes into a Rise Heart. He's gonna use a Rise Heart's effect to banish this. I end up activating this even though preparation is he's gonna be able to snipe a card out of my hand. I did this specifically because I wanted to make sure he couldn't add materials to hand. And I know I'll be able to use this to add at least Soul Rising to deal with it. So that's kind of the idea behind this. So he stays low. He gets rid of my stupid card. He does board lock his own. You draw Reinforcement on the armies, which is actually really good. So here we add Burger. Reinforcement has Reason. He's going to be ready at 2. See, this is why. See, he would be at... if I didn't banish it, he would... If I didn't imperm, this would be at 3 material, and then it would actually be very annoying at this position. So now this is going to be super easy to me, personally. So now I do that correctly. So now you activate Burger. You chain Raisin's effect to pop. But then he activates Big Bang for some forsaken reason. I do not understand why he did this. And now we're just going to BM our opponent. You activate Jialong's effect. Shift him to defense. Attack. I was actually thinking about just burgering him next turn. But because the, what do you call it? Burger is still negated from call by, but you know. We did what we did. Alrighty, we're here with game number 2, and our hand is looking scrumptious. We're gonna add Rise in the hand. So our hand's like really good because we have all these attributes. So you're gonna see I'm gonna add Burger. I'm gonna go into Rock Vanquish. Vanquish is gonna summon Mad, and then that's gonna add the Trap, and then boom. And then this is like one of my favorite things of comboing with this deck. Is just because like you draw so many cards. I'm such a big fan of drawing cards. It's like one of my favorite things to do, but it doesn't do it in a cringe way like Runic does, so it feels like you're actually earning the cards. So our hand's like nuts. Like this is like really strong for us. We're gonna do this because we already have an Earth in hand. He's playing Tier Limits. So now we add Jialong. Well, we drew Jialong and then we get able to draw, so we add Valus, which is even more insane. Now I get to pop his Unicorn. So, Unicorn pop. If you're wondering why I added a second Burgess, it's just so I can dodge. It gives me another ability to dodge like Imperm type effects and pop effects. So, we're going to dodge this. And then he's just going to end his turn. I'm going to pop the Fairy Tale Snow, and it's going to be GG. Just look at the amount of card advantage I have. I still didn't use my pop, so this card on the field, when I have 3 attributes, the Earth, Fire, and Dark, it allows me to pop every card on the field that isn't a Vanquish Soul, and I deal 1800 damage. And I special summon my Vanquish Soul from hand. It's a really crazy card. So, alright, this is game number 3 against Goofy Goober. But yeah, this deck is a lot of fun when if you like taking advantage of people. Unfortunately, this hand is really bad. So I only run one of this spell, and the reason I run this spell is I know in the TCG they don't really run it. But we have a meta where flipping cards face down is really strong right now, and this card is a way of searching. It's pretty much like a way of searching like a mini eclipse type of effect, or a bare minimum a Book of Moon type of effect, which is really good. Sometimes I grab this card even over the trap. In cases where I can't get like if I can't get the 3 attributes, I think getting this over the trap makes a lot of sense. But we end up doing this. It's really awkward because we only have Burger in hand, so this makes it so we literally have no more cards discarded to search. And I cannot draw with this effect, if you're wondering, because Pot of Pee. You go into Rock. Rock is going to add back our Dark, and then we're just going to set 3. No point in setting this because we really don't have anything to add. So we're going to draw our card. We end up drawing Raisin, which is a tremendous draw, by the way. So this is another deck that gets absolutely... This card does nothing against this deck, against Makonko, but this deck does everything. Like Soul Dust Devil does everything against him because it does not target. So it's like it's a better Book of Moon because it does not target. So you're gonna see, like, he's gonna do all those things, whatever. He bounces. I don't really care because I'm gonna use a trap to special summon a monster. And then I'm going to use this to flip the cards face down. And it's already GG. It's already too much incremental advantage. I'm going to have Ryzen to search more cards out. And I'm just going to keep being able to draw cards. Like, this is just super over. I want you guys to understand how over this was. Because it was donezo. And that's why the really fun thing about this deck is, like, it has so many, like... toolboxes. It kind of reminds me of Ninjas, except it's like much better. It's like Ninjas in the sense that it has a lot of toolbox like items in the deck, except it just feels a lot smoother because you get to play all these good hand traps and stuff. Alrighty, we're here with game number 4. I think, yeah, 4 against Ray. And yeah, we're getting ashed on our Vanquish Raisin, but we have Call By luckily, which is nice. And we're going to use this. And now we get to add the trap. And this is very standard what we're doing here. We get to add the fire. We get to draw a card. We drew into an earth. This is actually like peak insanity. Because the only thing that would have made this better is if this card was like a max C. If this card was a max C, this would be insane because I'd be able to summon this and pop his trap before he even does anything. You know how crazy that would have been? He would have just scooped immediately. But you're going to see some pretty funny shit happen here. We draw a card. I'm going to activate this, do Special Summon Raisin. I'm doing this solely to just get the get another Earth in hand. So we're going to bounce this. So we're just doing this again, Earth in hand, because remember this card special summons. So we're gonna use this pop. By the way, the craziest thing about a boss monster, this card has insane animation, but it's non-targeting pop. So he has to activate this, and I can just choose whatever he has to pop. Honestly, popping the big welcome's kind of rough still, because now he gets a bounce. And he goes into battle, and the only thing I think he realizes the only thing he can attack is this Caesar. So then we're gonna activate this. Unfortunately, I have the imperm, so pop. I mean, tell me how much of a GG this is at this point. Yeah, he scoops it up. Why wouldn't you? Alrighty, we're here with the 5th and final game, and I'm gonna be maxing my opponent. Okay, I usually don't like including games where I maxi draw a bunch of cards. I don't draw that many cards, and I just let my opponent do whatever he wants, so I really desperately needed like cards to actually play the game, because these cards are all dead. Like, none of these cards do anything, right? I think even for my turn, I end up not doing anything. You're gonna see. So he goes into Kick Kalios, he let me draw 2 cards. That's not that bad. He let me draw 2 cards. I literally just pot agreed. Like, I guess plus 1. It wasn't really anything that crazy. So I ended up setting 2 because my hand's unplayable. He does the most bizarre shit I've ever seen in my life, though. So he does this. I just imperm the Kick Kalios so he can use it. then he tributes both to go unicorn, so this card triggers and grabs Zeoman. So when he summons Zeoman, I just pop the entire field with the trap. I not only get to pop the entire field of the trap, I get to summon Jiaoling, which lets me search any card in my deck because I have 2 fire monsters in hand. And then I get to bounce this and then have an earth monster and have a free pop with this card too. And he just surrenders. Like, I can't make this up. Like, I don't even understand that play, like the 2-element play he just did. Like, it was so bizarre. If you guys were wondering, his back row card was Crime, so like him getting Kikalios off the board was like, okay, now I can just do whatever I want because Crime's off the board. But yeah, we're going to go to the recap. I'll tell you how I feel about the deck, and you guys will figure out from there. Hello, and welcome to the recap. I hope you guys enjoy this type of video, and if you do, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out greatly. Turn on the notification bell and join our Discord. The link is down below. We host tournaments every Friday. This week, the rules are pretty simple. There's a legacy ban list that bans a lot of cringe cards, but you can bring any deck you want this week as long as it's following the ban list. So check it out in Discord. So yeah, this deck pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I think you guys already know. I think I said it in the past. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but in the past I said Vanquish Soul. I really like playing this on Omega. Granted, on Omega, I was just literally just spam playing against bots because I don't really do much on Omega besides test things out. But it felt really fun playing it on Omega. I learned a lot more interactions playing in Master Duel because obviously you're playing against people actually interacting with you more. The bots don't really interact with you too much with on Omega. But yeah, I mean, the major takeaways here is when you're using Ryzen, just make sure if you're using one of these cards to dodge something, make sure you activate this card first and then Ryzen second. So Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. That's like the most important thing. This card's really good effect too. Make sure you understand that the return one monster with the lowest defense. Link monsters do not have defense, so this card does not count as 0 defense, if you guys are wondering. So just make sure whatever monster has defense points on, you can get a free bounce with this card's effect too. This effect too, where you lose 500 attack and defense, that is a permanent. So like as long as the card is on the field, like it doesn't matter if the turn ends or anything, they lose 500 as long as it's on the field. This effect this effect is not like the other Vanquish Souls. This card is like when it hits the field, that's when you can activate this. Jiao Long is probably one of the better cards in the deck. This card's like really crazy good because it lets you search any Vanquish Soul card from the deck except for itself. So you can search, it's pretty much like a combination of Mad Love and Raisin. But Raisin is probably your best stat card in the deck. That's why you have so many ways of getting it out. If you're finding you're having an issue getting Raisin out on the field still, like you're just finding that you shake your soul, you don't really have fires in your hand, or you're just like the 1 reinforcement and 3, and you just find that the package that you have, you're just not really finding it. Because in the TCG, they do have 3 pot of peas. You can play multiple Durandals, so you can play this at 2 or something. Because this card does let you search out Raisin. Honestly, playing this game, I really didn't have an issue opening this card. Like, whether it was from the 1 Durandal, or it was from the Vanquish, or if it was from Staker Soul, or it was from Pot of P, or the Reinforcement. Like, I had a lot of ways of accessing it, so I really didn't have an issue with it. Deck is really fun though. You see the basic combo. The thing about this deck, there's no really like combo that you do. It's not like yeah, you do like these micro, I would call them micro combos. Like you do these interactions that are like nice. But like there's no like, oh, you go into this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this. I mean, I guess you can say, oh yeah, I guess you can say there is a combo, but it's not like, it's more of like you can change it on the fly type thing. You guys seen kind of like what I was doing, where I would summon Raisin, search Burgess, use Raisin to go into Rock, use Rock to special summon Doctor. Doctor's effect adds Trap, or it can add Dust Devil, and then you can use Burgess to bounce this and then draw a card. So that way you're getting a lot of value that way. Your end boards are never like super impressive. Like you're never like, I have everything. I have like 16 negates. It's like you have like a bunch of hand traps, and on top of having a bunch of hand traps, you have these micro interactions that are really annoying that just screw your opponent over. Which I like. It's a lot of fun. The deck's really a ton of fun. So, do I recommend grabbing it? Yes, I do. I do recommend grabbing it. I was a little annoyed at Konami because they raised the price of the gems, which is really annoying to me. And on top of raising the price of the gems, they made this deck like 10 URs for no reason. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of annoying. Also, they made like the burger deck like kind of expensive too. Like I think you need 7 in archetype URs for that, but even then, that's not too bad. I was just hoping that we like get a pack. Tell me if you guys believe this. I just hope that we get a pack of like a cool set that's like not ridiculously expensive. Like, because we've been getting hit back to back to back with like ridiculously expensive archetypes. So you have like Kashtira that has like 6,000 ultra rares, Tier Limit 600,000 ultra rares. Like, I just want an archetype like Gold Pride coming out, or that's not going to be super expensive. Like, Medanium's going to probably end up coming out like relatively soon in the future, right? And that thing's going to have like, that's going to be ridiculous how many URs they have. I don't even want to fathom, because you have to play with the Scareclaw cards too. So like, not only are you gonna have like the URs from Scareclaw, you're gonna have the URs from Medanium. That deck is gonna be so expensive. I'm just so tired of how expensive these cards are. I think Konami is good with giving free gems, but I just think they're really bad with making how like cards are like ridiculously expensive. And you could tell that they cater a lot more to the players who like whip out the credit card than they do the people who save up their gems monthly. But I know some of you are going to say, well, Fatzoid, I always have enough for what I want, because it's because you're playing like 3 decks. You're not playing, for the content creators, we got to play like different shit a lot, like a lot of the time, which makes it annoying. Makes me want to just make it on Omega and just show you guys on Omega, which is not as interesting. So, yeah, I get a little tilted by it, but overall, deck's pretty fire, not gonna lie. We're gonna be doing Burger later. We're gonna be doing Burger tonight. So, hope you guys are ready for that. Alright, bye.